Sorry, I cut off there. My phone ran out of memory. I'm beside myself waiting on these people with this camera. So, so what I would say to you is just try a range of things and try a range of retrieves, right? And when it comes to the surface lures, like you can work them quite fast. You can also work them slow. Try both, right? That's my advice. Try both. As for getting the action right, the walking the dog stuff, that's just simply practice, right? And once you get it nailed, it is a kind of a, like I said yesterday, an action that's just, it's really in your wrist, right, is the key, right? And if a fish comes up behind the lure, keep it moving, right? Because what happens is people panic. They go, oh, Jesus, a fish, and they stop the lure, and the fish loses interest, right? So keep it moving, right? Another good trick is, and this is with hard lures, surface lures, or soft plats, anything, is lure stop, right? I'll do a couple of lure stops. Like if I'm on a long range cast, I might do a lure stop halfway through, and I always do a lure stop close to the shore because so many fish, like there are good few marks I fish where the fish hang off the back of a big reef and they'll follow you right to the shore almost, and just about sort of 8-9 foot out, that's where they nail it. When they think they have that bait pinned to the shore, that's when they hit it, right? And so your rod will be down when you get struck, and it's really exciting because then you've got a strike like that and they just zip off, right? So that's why it's so important to have your drag set like tight enough so you can set the hooks, but loose enough so that the fish can run. And I mean, even a 4 pound fish, if your drag is not set right, and he nails you close in, he'll bust you off. Like he just because the strength, you're not just fighting the fish, you're fighting the strength of the tide and everything else, right? Um, so drag is really important. Just having your reel set properly. Now, what I would say to you about reels if you're starting out is, yeah, you can buy really cheap reels, but they're crap, right? And they're going to just produce wind knots, right? I hate pen reels. I'm sorry. I know lots of people love them. I hate them. They just wind knot after wind knot after wind knot. They drive me nuts, right? I I I I I went through a phase of buying them. I tried every goddamn version of them and I couldn't get my head around them. It's like anything else, it's a personal thing, right? And I was fishing with a bunch of guys last year and it just confirmed it for me. They were fishing pens and every half hour I turn around and somebody go, oh, I have a windy. And they were like, it was just like something they'd become accustomed to, right? Whereas if you just spend a few quid extra on a Shimano Stratic, it's quality reel. You get one for I think under €200 now, and it'll never win that on you, right? And especially starting out, because when you're starting out, braid has absolutely no stretch in it, right? So it's difficult to fish with. It's like, those of us who are experienced will be like, oh, it's not a big deal. But to somebody who's new, it is a big deal. It's like, well, how the hell do I do this? Like, without absolutely destroying the thing. So I would say to you that get a reel that's capable of fishing braid, right? And make sure it's capable of fishing braid, right? One that's not prone to wind knotting. Yeah. Anything else? No, I mean, we'll cover loads more stuff again. I do want to talk about some other stuff because it's going to fish, right? Like the fish are showing up, so I'm fishing this evening anyway, for sure. Um, so I'm going to be fishing. Well, I bought in. Oh, hang on. Just give me a second. Wait. Sorry, I just wanted to grab a few things there to talk about fishing tonight. And this is going to be just as useful for the new guys too. So early in the season, I like to keep it small, really. So I did really well on these last year. So I'm going to be fishing these quite a bit tonight. That's the Mad Eel 90. I have it in a whole whack of colours. I'll be fishing the 1-Up Shad again in a whole bunch of colours. I'll definitely be giving the Megabass 4.5-inch spindle worm So one of the marks I fish has a lot of baby pollock and stuff on it. I'll be fishing it in sparkleberry and IU. But I'll also be fishing some kind of straight baits. So the 1-Up slug and this guy, which is the Madness, Mad Slug, right? And I'll be fishing it on a coyote head, right? So that's another good point for the newcomers, right? There are a whole whack of heads, like what do the various heads do and what are they intended for? And I think we don't have time today to go through it all, but I will take you through it tomorrow, about what type of heads for what type of fishing. You know, some are intended for straight retrieve, some are intended for more jerk style fishing, so some are weightless, some are weighted, you know, and we'll go through all that tomorrow. But just to summarize, kind of really, like, once you got your 3 types or whatever of lures, you got some shallow runners, you got some surface lures, you get some soft plastics, right? So essentially there are 2 types of soft plastics. There are stick baits, well, there are 3, right? You've got some stick baits, you've got some paddle tails, and I would class that really little fella there as a paddle tail. Oh, class him as a paddle tail, right? You got some stick baits, some paddle tails, and possibly some creature baits, which I'm not going to talk about today. We'll talk about creature baits another day. So you get your 2 types of soft plastics, your surface lures and your hard lures, right? So you hook a fish, you know how to kind of fight a fish. Thing is, don't panic, don't try and bully him, just stay tied into him, you know. Now I know probably Mr. Gilby would disagree with me. He fights his fish fairly hard, but I've just seen so many fish lost that way, right? When really there actually is no panic, like, unless you're on totally snaggy ground and they're gonna run your braid or your fluoro over a rock and rip you off. I just take it handy. I don't try and bully him. I just stay nice and tight into him, like, and you'll feel it actually when they're starting to give up. And then once you get their head up out of the water, get them in close and use the current to your advantage. So when that wave dumps up onto the shore, you back the fish, you walk up backwards up the beach, fish is left, then wave pulls out and the fish is left on the beach. You can just go down, grab them by the lower lips, get the hooks out of them, quick picture. We'll do a thing on that too. So I think the 2 things, I'm kind of doing this off the hoof, I haven't prepared anything. So the 2 things I'm going to cover next are jig heads and fish care. So how to look after fish and make sure that you can get them back alive and whatever. And if you are going to keep a fish, what size of fish you should keep in order for it to be best for the stock of fish that are actually there, if you know what I mean. Because the rules are the rules. You can keep a fish if you want to keep a fish, right? So hopefully that's helpful. Certainly got a few messages last night to say that people were finding it helpful. Any of the stuff, by the way, that I show you is available to buy in my store, and there is a link in my bio to it. Copper Coast Lures, the website, the web address is seabassfishingireland.com. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. I hate asking, but it does actually make a huge difference to me. I'm doing my taxes today, and believe me, I'm not making big money, you know, but I'm not doing it for the money, right, to be honest. So that's it, guys. You know, at the start, to be honest, I would concentrate on just getting myself some good paddle tails, right, because they're really reliable and it's a really easy way to get started in fishing. I definitely get a shallow runner or 2, and I would just get a couple of surface lures, and on you go. Like, just get out there and get fishing, right? And you'll build confidence as you go. You know what I mean? Feel free to drop me a message. My phone number and everything is there, or drop a message into comments. I do my best to reply to as many comments as I can. Obviously, I don't have that much time as I'm quite busy. So I think from here on out we're gonna cover a few more things. We're gonna cover jig heads, what type of jig heads, what weights you need, and then we're gonna start to talk about the different types of fishing, right? The different areas like coastal fishing versus estuary fishing versus open beach fishing, right? We'll do a little bit on those for beginners because we haven't talked very much about metal baits either, and it's always good to have a reliable metal in your bag, right? Just for distance, and they catch a lot of fish, to be honest with you. Now, my personal favorite is the P-Boy. I think it's in like it's about 14 gram. A nice alternative as well is needlefish. I'll definitely be giving that a run tonight. It's the Don Baloney from Fishes. They cast a hell of a long way. They sit up on the surface and you just straight retrieve them back in the darkness or at the dusk. In the daytime I might give them a bit of a twitch and put a bit more action into them or whatever. But in the nighttime you don't need to do very much. In fact, in the nighttime you can just drift them in the current and you'll get takes, right? So yeah, so that's it. I hope that was helpful. It might seem a little bit higgledy-piggledy or whatever, but I don't write stuff down or prepare stuff because it just ends up being kind of overcomplicated bullshit then, you know, and that's not what you need. Like, you know, I mean, the most important thing to get going bass fishing is just have a few decent, reliable lures and be able to fight a fish, right? And hopefully I've helped you a little bit along the road towards that. So other than that, tight lines everybody. I'm going to be fishing a lot this week. The fish have showed up, so hopefully we'll have some nice footage for you from the GoPro and stuff. It's very difficult with the GoPro because it kind of blows your ground wide open, and that's not something I'm over fond of, especially not in where I live, because there are plenty of people who would exploit it given the chance, right? But anyway, yeah, so I think we can leave it there for today. Hopefully that was helpful. As I say, if there's anything specific you want to know, just drop a message into the comments and I'll get back to you. And other than that, thanks very much for your support and for your business, and have a good day. Tight lines, everyone.